What's up, guys? This is Market Omega coming to you this Friday with another weekly recap. I'll be going over standout trades from this week, so without further ado, let's go. All right, so what do we have here? So this week has kind of been a hit or miss with some of the stocks. So, we have we've had individual stocks kind of pop up here and there, but then overall, we haven't really gotten the type of momentum that I anticipated, right? With the stimulus being passed and the IRS sending out all those checks, we still haven't gotten the sustained momentum on a lot of these names that I'm looking for. But that said, we got a few stocks, and I'm going to talk about them in a bit. But first, let's just start with the SPY. So we have the SPY kind of perking back up here, and which is actually good, right? If you go back and watch some of my videos, I talked about the SPY 420. That's the target by the end of April for me. I think we'll probably, hopefully we get there like by the end of April, 420. All right. And it actually looks like it's on the way. Plus, Biden has been making a strong effort to get the vaccine out to a lot of people. So a lot of people are getting the vaccines, and the economy starting to open back up. And obviously we have the stimulus, so that should bode well for the economy as a whole, and the market should start taking back up. So the market should start taking back up. So just looking at it right now, we're at 392. So if we can take out this high over 398, there might be some stiff resistance around 400. Over 400, I mean, definitely we're gonna hit. I would say about 415 before a pullback, and then we should be breaking 420. All right. So what stocks do we have this week? So just to start off, we had DLPN. So DLPN was a stock that moved. It actually started on the 23rd in after hours. Okay. So actually, let me take a look here. No, actually, it started in midday. But the thing with this stock was like just throughout that day, it was just chopping around. It was chopping. It just kept, chopping people out. So, people that are long biased on this stock, they probably got chopped out. If you were short biased, you probably got chopped out as well. So this was kind of like range bound, right? And then all of a sudden, you have this breakout over this, 1990 area right here. And this happened in after hours. So I actually took a few positions here in after hours. And basically what I did was just load on dips, man. Every time you see a stock break out like that, you don't want to chase it. You just want to wait for the dips and just, get in and sell the rip. So that actually worked out perfectly. And then obviously, we went from, when we broke out of this level here, right, this 1870s level, we popped up to 1990. And as soon as we broke out of this 1990 level, we just never looked back. So this thing just kept going all the way to 38. And the crazy part is, like, I didn't know who was short this stock because, there aren't really a lot of locates on this thing. So it's kind of hard to figure out who was actually short this name because it created this crazy squeeze, right, from this 19 level all the way to 38. And then the next day, just get back pretty much all of the gains and then some. But this is a crazy move. You could have gotten long somewhere around here and then sold. So I got this in after hours, and that was good. And let's see, we had YVR. So YVR was a stock that was gapping up in the same day. So YVR basically took the opening drive. This is a nice stress-free trade right there. So I took an opening drive, made some money, and then I tried to get back in on the dip. So I actually got back in on dip, and I was profitable, but I was trying to hold this thing because I thought, we're probably going to make a move. I can't remember where I got long, but I was hoping that, we'll at least make a move up, break 7. Once we break 7, we could at least get to like 730. That was like my profit target. So I got long. Where did I get long? I think I got long right here. It was somewhere around there, but popped up to 660s, and then you got this crazy dump right there. So I stopped out on this dump, and obviously it just kept going down and never bounced up. So that was that. I ended up giving back some profit from the opening drive on this stop out right there. And then there was BNTC, right? So BNTC was a stock that was moving up. It was gapping up in pre-market. Now, when I looked at BNTC, I just we looked at the filings in the room, and one of the guys in there pointed out that the key underwriter on the stock is HCW. Okay, so you guys know I always talk about HCW. Those guys, HC Wainwright. So a lot of times, every time they're in a stock, it's usually, I don't know. I just think like their main goal is just to unload a bunch of shares. There's always dilution, and a lot of times there's always some kind of games. And the stock usually just opens, you get a slight pop, and then it drops. And 9 times out of 10, that's what normally happens to their plays, right? And you look at the stock, it did the same thing. You got this open, and then it just faded. And then usually, sometime during the midday, you get either a relief bounce or like a rip. Just out of nowhere, you get like a 40, 50 cent rip. And then it chops around a little bit and then fades. It continues fading. So I think what those guys realize is a lot of people, started understanding the patterns, because I always talk about the same pattern on HCW, right? And a lot of guys in our room, they prepared themselves for it and they shorted it and everything and made some money. So these guys, they started saying, okay, you know what? A lot of people are shorting our picks. A lot of people are shorting our stocks, and they know the pattern. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try to squeeze everybody out. And, when nobody was looking, when everybody was expecting the all-day fade, the thing just started perking up. And then next thing you know is it just ripped, broke the pre-market highs, pulled back a little bit, and then just continued higher. So a lot of people that were short right here, they probably just got blown out. People that were short right there, they got blown out as well. So this thing ripped, but then guess what? It never sustained the gains, right? Broke, tapped 1040s, and then all the way down. So from a high of 1040s all the way down to 480s actually, or what is this, 460s. So this was actually, I think this was their main intention, to dump shares, right? To dump all the way down to 460s or even lower. That was their main goal, right? But because everybody is, people kind of like getting hip to their patterns and their games and everything, they just, they decided, okay, well, we're going to just go ahead and trap everybody, all the people that are short, and get them to stop out, create the squeeze, create this liquidity event right there, and then dump into the liquidity. And that's what happened, right? They unloaded a bunch of shares and then slow, methodical move downwards. So that's HCW in a nutshell. Okay. And then what else do we have? We had APTO. So APTO, that was a stock that I was watching. It was actually on the gap scan right there. So APTO, I actually took a long on the opening drive, made some good money, pulled back, got back in on the bounce, and sold. But when I started seeing stuff like this, right, it was just like choppy. This thing was just so choppy. You get this like chop action right there. So, I think I shorted it. The 670s actually. I think I shorted this. Like after I got long on the bounce and I sold right there, I think I flipped short somewhere around the 670s. I remember. And that was a perfect entry. That was like awesome, because that was the short-term top right there. And I didn't hold all this for this move downwards. I just covered I think I covered like 25 cents or 30 cents or something, and that was it. But talk about being dead on the short. So shorted right there and then covered. And then we had WKEY. So guys, WKEY was awesome. It was crazy. And I actually talked to people in the chat room about WKEY. I said, look, guys, keep this on watch, okay? In the chat room, I always send out a swing trade watch list. And, I told guys, keep WKEY on watch. This thing could look good. But anyway, we got this breakout right here. Once it broke this level right there, went all the way to 22. And this was beautiful. I mean, I made a killing off this move right there. This is awesome. And then, you got this pullback right there. And the stock, as we speak, it's perking back up. So I think this thing, in a couple, in the coming days, this thing is going to have a lot of legs. So keep that on watch. And then today, we had a bunch of gappers. We had ATNF, we had WAFU, CLEU, LAIX, and then also PRQR. So what do all these stocks have in common besides PRQR? They're China stocks. A lot of these stocks are like, they're like Chinese crappy names. And I think they were popping up, so, something to do with like their education group or something like that. So, I don't know, some education sector in China, I don't know, that's just enough to propel these stocks in pre-market. So the stocks basically gapped up right from like LAIX gapped from 240s all the way to 370s. So that's a big gap. We had ATNF basically went from like 5s all the way to 14. WAFU was just the most ridiculous. This thing went from 5 to 36 and gave back damn near its entire gain. So a lot of these China stocks are all crappy. I don't know. They always have the same thing. They have these crazy moves in pre-market, and then they give back the gains, and then you get the relief pop, and then they fade. So with this, I didn't have borrowers to short this. So, but I took a trade. I think I took a trade on ATNF. Took a trade on ATNF right here. I got stopped out. But there was a trade in particular, WAFU. So I couldn't short it, so I went long, and I got a few wins on this. So basically, it was coming down towards support. I went long starter size on the support, and then I added a few times, and then I got the bounce. So I think I got it for almost a point on the move up. So that was pretty good. CLEU, I didn't trade this, but halted a few times, and then just fade. And I think this thing will probably just break the low of day and just go all the way down to 4. LAIX, same thing. This thing has already broken the low of day, and it's going to chop around, and I think this thing fills the gap right there and goes to the abyss. So PRQR, right? So we had PRQR. I don't think that's a China stock. That's a biotech stock. So it had some action from yesterday. This was kind of choppy. I mean, this action right here for the longs and shorts, they were getting chopped out, right? I mean, I made some money. I got stopped out a few times here, and then I made money somewhere around there. I got long around the 850s level, and I sold all the way up to like 920s, 930s. So that was good. And then in after hours, this thing broke this high of day, got this rip, and then gave back the pop. So today, I was watching this. I was actually thinking, because in pre-market, it kind of looked like it was holding 9s, and it looked like it was holding 850s, and I was thinking, okay, if this thing breaks 9 and can hold above 9, we can get a move back up to 950s and then over 10. But that's not what happened. The stock basically tanked, got the relief bounce, and then it's just been chopping around. So for this stock, I don't really care too much about it. I didn't even trade it today. So that's that. That's pretty much the entire action that we had this week. Okay, these were like the standout stocks that we had this week. All right, so guys, feel free to subscribe to MarketOmegaTrades.com. I usually get on the mic 30 minutes before the market opens every day, and I go through my entire game plan. Let you guys know what I'm looking at on the stocks. I analyze the news. We actually analyze the filings just to know if there's any, any warrants, any dilution, if there's an active shelf. And then, when the market opens, I'm usually on the mic, and I can guide you guys through, a lot of the stocks that we trade. All right. So it's MarketOmegaTrades.com. The link is in the description below, guys. Check us out. All right. And feel free to follow me on Twitter at MarketOmega. I usually post my ideas on stocks, cryptocurrency, sports, and just life in general. All right. And then subscribe to my YouTube channel, Market Omega. and turn on post notifications so you get notified every time I upload new content. Okay, and hope to see you guys in chat, and I'll be back next week for another weekly recap. Take care.